Hello students, I would like to introduce this course of Managerial Economics to you. This is from IBS Bangalore, and the course summary is what I would like to share with you now. This primarily deals with integrating microeconomic principles to management decision making using case studies. So this is going to be the method that is going to be followed right through for this course. Now let's move over to the learning outcomes. The main outcome of this course is to give a proper understanding of the basic theories and analyze the behavior of various economic agents, including individuals and firms. Further, it also aims at applying theories into managerial decision making. So it focuses more on the practical application of the microeconomic theories which you would have probably studied. We start with the introduction to economics. It deals with the basic economic systems in the world, namely the free market economy, the command economy, and also the mixed economy. Moreover, it talks about the basic problems dealt with by individuals, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. The basics of economics always starts with supply and demand analysis. So we begin by defining the demand function, explaining what is law of demand, the demand schedule, and understanding how this concept is relevant in the real world. We also do the same analysis with supply. Consumer behavior deals with the buying behavior of consumers and the microeconomic principles governing this buying behavior. So basically the utility analysis, where we speak about marginal utility, where we say utility is measured in numerical terms, and also the Ordolin analysis, where we say that utility cannot be measured in numerical terms, and we give the concept or introduce the concept of indifference curves here. That's about consumer behavior. Now we move on to production analysis, which is a very essential part of this course, and it deals with constructing the production function, understanding the production function, the returns to scale. Then we move over to analysis of costs. So what are the different types of costs, concepts? How do you classify these concepts and also apply them to the real world? Now we move over to another interesting part of the course, which is basically an analysis of the different market structures prevailing. There are four essential types of market structures, namely perfect competition, monopoly, and under imperfect competition we have monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Now there are certain characteristics that distinguish these market structures. So we will be dealing with the features of these market structures and how price and output is determined in each of these market forms. Now we move over to the pricing practices. So, how does a firm take a decision under conditions of risk and uncertainty? Basically dealing with game theory. So, how the actions of a firm is also dependent upon the reactions from its rivals. Now, the suggested textbook for this course would be Robert Pindick and Daniel Rubenfeld, and it could also be Managerial Economics by Paul Samuelson. Either of these books would be the right one to refer. Now, all of us know that we are in a lockdown situation, and primarily the learning is going to happen online. So this is an interesting concept which I would like to introduce to you, blended online learning, which combines synchronous and asynchronous learning. What is synchronous learning? Synchronous learning is basically using conventional methods such as lecture method, using live sessions, and discussing the topics, syllabus related topics, using Zoom, and also applying basic Excel tools like pivot tables and other statistical tools to add value to these topics or these sessions. Now, this could be integrated with asynchronous learning, use of QuickForce. I'm sure you would be familiar with QuickForce, and you would have access to QuickForce also. So what I would be doing is embedding videos, short videos, PPTs, and also conducting all the evaluations online, as well as activities would be given, administered topic-wise and session-wise. You would be given the timelines for each of this, and you would be expected to complete it before the deadline. Now we move over to the Excel tools, and we map those with the syllabus topics. So basically we are starting with demand analysis and forecasting, and the relevant Excel tool which we would use for this is a statistical function of forecasting and regression to show the impact of select variables on demand, which is the independent variable. Moving over to cost and production, we would use pivot tables to analyze data sets of companies' costs related information and to classify different types of costs. Last but not the least, we would analyze markets with the help of recommended charts and graphs, and study the market share of different industries so as to classify them under a particular market form. Next, we move over to activity mapping. This is basically mapping activities on QuickForce with the evaluation components that we are going to use. So the evaluation component that would be used repeatedly would be the case study analysis, which would be demonstrated in the post-live sessions, and this would be used for class participation. And the activity on QuickForce which would be mapped with this would be forums and assignments. The next evaluation component, which is widely used and which we will also use, is quizzes related to particular topics, which could be of the MCQ form or it could be short questions. And moving over to the next thing, we would also have a detailed analysis of data sets of microeconomic variables using Excel. Now this will be given in the form of an assignment, so it could be mapped under the activity of assignment in QuickForce. Finally, we would be moving over to presentations, where you would be uploading PPTs and you could give individual or group presentations, and also insert relevant interactive videos to make the presentation more lively. Finally, we come to the suggested cases. As I explained in the beginning, this course will not be complete without analyzing relevant cases. And the more recent they are, it makes it all the more interesting. So we would start with demand analysis, and the name of the case would be Understanding Crude Oil Demand. It's a CDC case and it was published in 2020. The next case was Tesla in China, which is an ICMR case published in 2020, again mapped under the topic of demand analysis and pricing. The third interesting case would be, can Starbucks, we all know about Starbucks, so can Starbucks sustain its high prices in China? So this would be mapped under the topic of demand elasticity and premium pricing. This is an ICMR case published in 2017. Moving over to the next topic, market structures. We have 3 relevant cases for that. First is the C factor, or the cement industry in India, unhealthy oligopoly and controls. So here we talk about, as the very name suggests, it is a case which is related to oligopoly. The next one is Ambassador Riches to Rags. Is competition the culprit? This is again a case which is mapped under the topic of market structure. The last case would be case of Reliance Jio marching towards monopoly. It is a case related to monopoly, and it's an ICMR case published in 2020. So this would be the list of suggested cases, and we would analyze these cases as per the session and topic. So a participative and stimulative learning experience requires cooperation. So I look forward to a participative and stimulating learning experience. Thank you.